Hey guys, what's up? This is Alex, coach of your Toronto Star Raptors, here with my team builder for week 3. As always, you'll see my Pokemon on the left and my opponents on the right. And this week we are playing the New England Tentacruels, coached by JTN. So just a quick breakdown of his team. There's Zapdos, a really good Mon, really good defensive. Now that Static is released, I do have to watch out for making contact with it. Really good defensive Mon, also really good for offensive if you choose to bring it that way. And it's also a really good defogger, so I do have to watch out for that. Mamoswine is kind of a problem to my team, so I do have to watch out for that. I have built around Mamoswine, making sure that I outpace it with the Mons that I need to outpace it with. Snorlax is an excellent wall. It's one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. It is a great special wall and also really powerful on the physical side, so I do have to watch out for that. It gets great moves like Seed Bomb and stuff like that, Earthquake, Crunch, etc. Jellicent is another good special wall that I have to watch out for, and it does kind of hinder me with going for normal or fighting moves. Gardevoir is a really good Psychic Fairy type, excellent coverage, really good choice scarfer. So if he brings Gardevoir, I am probably going to suspect that it's choice scarf. Claydol, garbage. Mega Charizard X fucks my team. I really have to watch out for that. I don't have very many counters, so I really have to play around it. I have to make the right predictions because every time Charizard comes in, it's pretty much going to get a kill on something if he clicks the right move. So I really have to watch out for that. Lucario, it gets priority in the forms of Bullet Punch and Extreme Speed. I do have to watch out for Lucario just because of Diancie. If he brings Lucario, it's carrying Bullet Punch, without question. And so I have to be aware of that, and I can't let him get a Bullet Punch off on Diancie because it will OHKO. Volcanion, great new Mon. Not super familiar with it just because it is so new, so I do have to watch out for Volcanion. I'm kind of hoping he doesn't bring it, but we will see. Ludicolo and Ariados are a lot lower threats. I'm not that worried about it. Ariados is kind of a problem just because of Sticky Web. And if I see Ariados, I'll probably leave with Diancie just to get off my Magic Guard because I don't want Sticky Webs on my team. My team is very dependent on speed, and I can't allow myself to be slowed down. So anyway, jumping into it, here's what I brought against GTN. So we're starting off with our Mega Diancie, rocking Moonblast, Earth Power, Diamond Storm, and Rock Polish. Max special attack, 180 speed with the positive nature, and then the rest is dumped into attack. That 180 in speed is enough to outspeed all of his base hundreds. So Charizard X, Gardevoir, and Zapdos. I outpaced them all variants of them that aren't scarfed by 1 point. And if at any point I do have a chance to get up a Rock Polish, I'll be faster than everything on his team, and I can just start tearing through it. So hopefully late game, that's what I can do. With this moveset, I hit everything but the Snorlax and the Ludicolo with super effective damage. And those two Mons, with my coverage, they don't have any resistances, the ones that I don't hit super effectively, so I really anticipate Diancie being able to put in work, provided I can play around Lucario and its Bullet Punch, and hopefully Gardevoir could have, or Zapdos could have Hidden Power Steel, so I do have to watch out for that. But again, I outpace them, so if they're already weakened, I can just OHKO them with a super effective move. Next up, we have Colossus, the Registeel. Leftovers Light Metal, because Lucario does get Low Kick, something to keep in mind, and I think it's just Lucario on his team, and he doesn't have any Intimidate Mons, so I don't really have any reason to run Clear Body. Psychic on Gardevoir could lower my Spadef, but or Shadow Ball on the Jellicent, but again, that's only a 10% chance. It's not something I really want to worry about. I think Light Metal is probably a better bet. Rock and Stealth Rock, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Stealth Rock just to get up my rocks. Iron Head hits Mamoswine, Gardevoir, for super effective damage. Rock Slide hits Zapdos, Mamoswine, Mega Charizard X, Volcanion, and Ariados for super effective, and Earthquake hits the Ariados and the Charizard and the Volcanion and the Lucario for super effective damage. So it's just good coverage. This isn't it's not a really powerful hitter. As you can see, I'm rocking a fully Split F set this week because I do resist all of his main stats. Zapdos' flying and electric moves, Gardevoir's psychic and fairy moves, Jellicent's water attacks, Volcanion's water attacks, Ludicolo's water and grass attacks. So this is a really good wall for most of his special threats, and then just with coverage to deal with them. Next up we have Entei, Mufasa the Entei. Assault Vest this week. I was originally rocking Banded, and I might still change it, but I don't like the idea of locking Entei into moves. Even if, mostly just because of Stone Edge, actually. So my moveset this week is Stone Edge, Sacred Fire, Iron Head, and Extreme Speed. So because I have Extreme Speed, I am rocking Adamant, Max Attack, Max Speed, with 4 into health to just give me a nice odd number. With this speed, I do still outspeed Mamoswine, which is the bigger thing I want to worry about. So Mamoswine can't switch into me unless he's going to go for an Ice Shard or it's Scarfed. If he does switch into me to an Entei, that tells me that it is Scarfed. But then, yeah, just because of Assault Vest, I can switch up my moves. I might switch it for a Stone Plate or a Fire Plate, just because Entei is one of the few mons on my team that can take an attack from Mega Charizard. I take most of his attacks unboosted at about 50 to 60%, so I can take them and then get off powerful damage with an Extreme Speed. If I have my rocks up, I can kind of force him to go for the Roost and get off massive damage with this thing. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Again, I don't really have much I can do against Charizard, so I just really have to play around it. And Entei is one of my only checks for it, so I do have to keep Entei healthy. Next up, I have Blue the Sock. Again, Choice Scarf, that's pretty much the only thing I ever run on this thing. I need to come up with a different set. Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker allows me to hit through Mamoswine's Thick Fat and Claydol's Levitate. So I'm rocking the Close Combat, Ice Punch, Poison Jab, and Earthquake. Because of Mold Breaker, Ice Punch will be super effective on Mamoswine, since I don't think Ice resists itself. It might actually, now I'm saying that out loud. And it will prevent Claydol from being a switch into Earthquake. Yeah, I don't think he's going to bring Claydol, but still. So again, I'm rocking enough speed with my Choice Scarf to outpace anything on his team, including some choice mons. I think I outspeed a Scarfed Mamoswine by 1 point, and anything else is too fast for me to outpace. Yes, that's what I did. So Jolly Scarfed Mamoswine, I still outpace it. Close Combat hits Mamoswine, Snorlax, Lucario. Ice Punch hits Zapdos, Mamoswine, kind of. Not really Mega Charizard, and not really Ludicolo. Poison Jab hits the Gardevoir and the Ludicolo, and can hopefully get off a few poisons on things like Snorlax if that switches in. And then Earthquake hits the Charizard X. This is another answer to Charizard X. If he doesn't have a D-Dance up, I can hit first. So again, really worried about Charizard X, so I had to kind of bring a lot of things around it, because if any one of my checks starts losing health, then Charizard X can just come in with one Dragon Dance and kind of sweep through my whole team. So I really am trying to prevent that from happening, which is why I'm running Trick Room Reuniclus this week, rocking Magikarp, Life Orb, Shadow Ball, Side Shock, Trick Room, and Recover. Quiet with a max special attack, max HP. This coverage really allows me to hit everything I need to. I don't really need any other moves. I don't really get anything that would be super effective on Zapdos. Side Shock and Shadow Ball, I don't really need to run Flash Cannon for Mamoswine or the Gardevoir. I have the Shadow Ball. Psyshock and Shadow Ball both do decent damage to Mamoswine. Psyshock hits Snorlax really well. Shadow Ball for Jellicent, Claydol. Both those moves do massive damage on Charizard. And then his other mons I'm not that worried about. So Trick Room is another last-ditch effort to stop Mega Charizard. I can set up the Trick Room, and then using my Life Orb can do massive damage on anything else. Again, if it's a little weakened and I get my Trick Room up, I can deal massive damage, start OHKOing things, and then on the last turn of Trick Room, recover up, and then kind of do it all again if need be. I don't think it'll take that long, but Baymax is just one more kind of answer to Charizard X, and just other, like, it's a wall breaker. Late game wall breaker is kind of what I'm hoping to do with this set, and if not, it is fat enough where I can take a few hits with it. And then last but not least, I'm finally bringing Latios. Oh my god, excuse me. Air Canada rocking the Leftovers Levitate, Dragon Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Shadow Ball, Psyshock, and Defog. I am bringing the Defog, even though I have Magic Balance and Mega Diancie, because I am worried about webs. I cannot let him set up webs. Let me repeat. I cannot let him set up webs, because it'll help Baymax sweep, but it won't help Mufasa, Diancie, or Blue. And I need those guys. I need them to be fast in order to outpace his mons, because I'm trying to wall break. I'm trying to hit first and hit last. I don't want anything getting through on this. I'm rocking Dragon Pulse over Draco because with my investment, provided he's not having any bulk, Dragon Pulse is enough to take out the Charizard X, and then it keeps me from having to switch out. Shadow Ball and Psyshock are just more coverage. Shadow Ball is mostly for the Gardevoir, because I am worried about that. As a Scarfed Gardevoir does deal massive damage to Latias. Max special attack, enough speed again to outpace all of his base 100s by 1 point, and then the rest is just jumped into health to kind of give it a little more bulk. Again, I'm really worried about this matchup. I think I don't have a great matchup just because a lot of my walls, all my walls, cannot deal with Charizard X. So I kind of have to use offensive threats to take it out. Like I have to let Mufasa take it, or I have to predict a fire move and go into Latias and then outspeed it with Dragon Pulse. So things like that. I really have to play around the Charizard, because if I let it set up without getting enough prior damage on it, I am screwed. And just saying that out loud, I might end up switching Mufasa to a choice band before our match. We'll see. But anyway, that is my team builder for this week. As always, I would love to hear any suggestions you guys have for me in the comments below on what other sets I could have brought that might have given me a better team matchup. And I will see you guys when we have our match.